Okay, today we're going to be reviewing these two very inexpensive home projectors for DVD players, video games, whatever. This one particularly has a 360 on the front. Well, this one does too. But anyhow, you can find these at like CVS or Kohl's. This one specifically came from Kohl's, and I believe I saw this one at CVS. Walgreens, I believe, had it as well. Both are on a Black Friday special. I think this one, this one I know was $60. This one I believe was selling for $40 or $50. I'm pretty sure it was a bit cheaper. This one I actually got, even though it was new, I got it from a garage sale. The lady was selling them on eBay, and she had about 3 left and just didn't want to deal with eBay anymore. So she sold them in her garage sale, and that's where I got this one. This one I bought new from Kohl's. Now, let's see if I can unpack them without knocking the camera up over here. Alright, you got your owner's manual, obviously. Okay. Now, this one I've had for some time. I got it during the summer. The Discovery Channel one over there I got on Black Friday, so I've also had it a while, but I've just now got to doing this review. Okay. Now, both of these came with a set of RCA cables for your video for this. I have used those cables someplace else that I needed. And it's very lightweight, has a handle, it's rubberized right there so it doesn't slide around. And you have your cord in the back with your light bulb replacement right there. You also have a manual focus and a built-in speaker in both of them with volume, color, and contrast controls over here. Both of them also only have one video input, it's your standard RCA, and one audio out, which is a 3.5mm headphone jack, so just your standard headphones. You can get a double-ended headphone cable or a double-ended you can get a double-ended headphone cable or a headphone cable to RCA in order to hook it up to, let's say, like your stereo system or something. Now, there's that one. This one here came with a DVD as well. There's the instruction manual as well for that one. This one came with a little DVD demoing some Discovery Channel shows. And it, excuse me for the jump cut, bing, is right here. Very similar to the other one. Just get your speaker in the front behind this grill here. On the side, you have slightly different power buttons. These stick out a little better, a little more, which makes it better for connections if you ask me. You see these are mostly flush. Sometimes it can be hard to get certain cables to fit. These stick out. You also have your same volume, color, contrast, and like I said, the same audio out. Also have a manual focus on this one. And the light is in the same place. Now, you notice that they are very, very similar in most respects, except for the casing. As far as the controls and everything, they're exactly the same. And that's because they're made by the same people. Made by Merch Source. As you can see, they're the exact same thing. They just say Projector Entertainment 2, Projector Entertainment 2. One is model number 1635224, that is the white one. The black one is 1625075. And for some reason the white one takes 5 watts less. And the white one is last year's model. See, you can say copyright 2010, this one says copyright 2011. This is probably why the white one was on sale cheaper than the black one. Also, because this one says Discovery Channel, I'm sure that made it more expensive as well. As you can see, the white one, judging by the special sticker right here, was originally $99.99. If I'm not mistaken, so was this one. Now, I'm going to see if I can set up a screen, and we'll see how they go. Okay, I'm back. I've got a screen set up. This is an old one I found at a thrift store somewhere, probably from the 70s or so. And now, this one has a problem. This one overheats. And I even tried changing out the light bulb in the back here which is one of these type that you can find at Lowe's or whatever, with a xenon one. Well, it's actually a xenon halogen mix, which is supposed to burn cooler than just the straight halogen that it came with. Unfortunately, it's still overheated, and I will show you what happens when it does that. Sorry for another jump cut. Well, it would appear that the little projector has changed his mind about overheating. Last time I used it, it was during the summer and was considerably warmer down here. So I think that may have something to do with it. But I have ran it for well over 10 minutes and it has not created that black spot in the middle of the screen yet. So maybe it got its issue settled, and it is right now, according to my little thermometer clock thing, 59.6 degrees down here. I don't know if that, nope, that's not going to show up. But anyhow, trust me, 59.6 degrees down here. During the summer, it is considerably warmer than that. Probably around 75 or so. Still pretty cool, but apparently enough to make this projector overheat, because I swear to you, it was doing it in the summer. But I guess if you're going to keep your house at 60 degrees or less, it might work for you. But anyhow, let's move on to the Discovery Channel one. Well, actually, since this one's already up and running, and since it's not overheating, why don't we do a few little demos with it first, since the Discovery Channel one is essentially the same thing, just in a different casing. Now, I'm going to play a little bit of this. Only a little bit, because we don't want them to scream at me for, oh, you're broadcasting public media or whatever, I don't know. Anyhow, you can see the image is not bad. It's not high def. It's not even standard definition. Oops, let me turn the volume down. It is slightly less than that. I believe it's, instead of 480 vertical lines, I think it's 320, which is fine for, you know, just projecting on a wall or messing around. But just, as you can see, everything is still easily visible. Now, enough of that before they get mad at me. And just to show you what a game would be like, I've got a Sega Genesis over there. I'm going to turn on once I switch cables out here to show you that it has enough resolution. Whoop, on the camera. To play games with your friends. Crap, it must have come unplugged. Oh, nope, there it goes. Those of you who remember cartridges know you gotta blow them out now and again. Produced under Sega Enterprises. Why is it all screwy as far as the picture goes? It's really weird. Why is it doing that? I don't know. Now it's definitely all weird. Is it because the Sega is so low resolution? Or am I not doing something right? Or has my Sega kicked the bucket? Dang, this thing is going to be full of jump cuts. I apologize again. Okay, sorry for yet another jump cut. Apparently, this projector has decided to fix one problem and create another one. Now, that is the N64 when it's working properly. As you can see, even though it's quite smaller and out of focus because I haven't adjusted it, it works fine. You plug in the Genesis, and you get that. But the weird thing is, you go back and plug in the 64 again, you get jumbled up mess. And black and white, you can sort of see the title there. If you unplug it and plug it back in a couple of times, sometimes it will go back to what it's supposed to be. Come on now. And then sometimes if you turn the 64 off and back on again, it doesn't do anything at all. Oh, and then it decides to have the appropriate picture. But if you unplug it again and then plug it back in, see, this time it worked. Yeah. although it's very washed out. I could adjust that with the color and contrast. But it seems to have a faulty video input. Either the port is faulty, whatever circuitry in there that decodes the video is faulty, or something. So the Shift 3 projector, the white one, has solved one problem yet developed another one. So we will be moving on to the Discovery Channel one for the duration of this review. Now, when you press the power button on both of them, the fan stays on even though the light turns off, and that is to cool the bulb down so it doesn't explode or shorten the life of it or something like that. It just says, please do not unplug it during cooldown mode. And the light will flash. It'll do that for a minute or two and then finally shut itself off automatically, at which point you can unplug it. And sorry, I am going to try and promise that this will be the last jump cut while I go get the other projector. Okay, here we have the black one running. You probably can't see it that well. And you may notice, first off, the biggest complaint I have with the black one is the incredibly noisy fan right here. Probably a cheap outsourced fan they got from China that sells them for a penny a piece or something like that. And it's quite noisy, but it seems to do the job. And as you can see, I've also moved the projector screen back, and there is the N64. It seems to work just fine. Let's try unplugging it and plugging it back in and see if it will do the weird thing that the white one does. Nope, seems to work perfectly. Now let's try the Genesis and see if it also doesn't work. Well, it's better. The color is actually there. It's not doing the strange flickering, but there is some lines. Here, let me turn this light out. It does have some strange line shifting thing going on here. Not so sure what that's all about, but it does work better than the white one. Perhaps they upgraded the internals on the video processing a bit so it can handle lower resolution, because the Genesis obviously is quite an old video game system from 1989 and doesn't have the high resolution that the N64 here has, or even your DVD player has. Now then, as you can see though, even though it is a low resolution, you can see what you're doing fairly well on a video game, and you should have no problem whatsoever playing it. Also, one thing I would like to note about the Discovery Channel projector is that the image quality seems better. So perhaps it's not exactly the same internals as the E3, the white one, or it's also called the E3 Light Blast, if I'm not mistaken. Excuse me, Shift 3 Light Blast. It seems to have a better image. It seems to be clearer, and you can even probably focus it a little bit more than that to get it tweaked. Seems to work pretty good. Let's see what the contrast is like on the Rareware symbol. Let's see, we got the Nintendo. See, good contrast, good color. I think it's a better image than the Shift 3 in my personal opinion. However, both seem to do just fine considering that they are low budget, under $100 projectors. And I'm going to turn this off now and move slightly away from the incredibly noisy fan. Okay, back over here with the lights on. I know I only said one more jump cut, but this video is already kind of a hacked up mess as it is, so why not keep hacking it up? Anyhow, in conclusion, both of these projectors out of the box work decent, and when I say both, I mean this one is the one that brings it down to decent. Simply because it did overheat on me, and now it seems to have developed some sort of video problem despite me not using it because it overheated. It's just been sitting in a box for several months. The good thing about this one is, though, is it has a much quieter fan than the Discovery Channel one. However, the Discovery Channel one seems to have a better image as far as color and contrast goes. It handles the low resolution of the Genesis better, so that may mean it's more compatible with older video game systems that have less resolution. I'm not too sure why this one has trouble with that, or why it was having trouble with the N64 as well. The only thing I can think of is either this is faulty in more ways than just overheating, or they upgraded the circuitry on the video processing for the new one here, the new model. The only big complaint I have with the Discovery Channel model is the incredibly noisy fan. It's very, very loud. It seems to adjust its speed as needed. It starts off slow and then gets louder and louder as it gets faster and faster. That's probably to deal with the potential heat problem that this one over here can have, that the white one can have. So it's unfortunate that they decided to use that cheap of a fan, but once again, these are $100 or less for a video projector, and a pretty darn good one. Both of them have a built-in speaker. It's nothing special, but it will do the trick if needed. It's fairly loud, which is important with the black one here to hear over the fan. They're both fairly loud and should do well enough if you wanted a portable projector, which these are both very portable, considering that the stand is also the handle. That was a good design on their part. And the nice thing is they both have an audio out for if you're going to use this as a more permanent location. So yeah, very good. I would recommend this one. I would not recommend this one, even though they were selling them on Black Friday, so apparently they're still making them, or they have lots of them stuck somewhere and they're trying to get rid of them. And apparently it has fixed its problem, probably because it is cooler down here than it was in the summer, but most people's houses aren't 59 degrees. Most people keep them around 75, I would guess, and since it was 75 degrees down here in the summer and it overheated, I would not recommend the Shift 3 Light Blast. I would recommend the Discovery Channel Wonderwall, even though they're both made by the same people. Apparently this one is vastly superior. So, in conclusion, forget about that one. Buy this one.